they want you to do your best. They want you to be the best.
Something that I know I'll always carry with me for the rest of my time.
It's just a wonderful learning environment.
In some of the most beautiful country, and we're performing some of the most beautiful music. I'd say that combination is my favorite thing about Castleton.
I've come to associate Castleton with a place of repose, a place of creativity, a place where young people, thanks to the festival that we established some years ago, look to as a kind of mecca. They come here and they leave saying, "Maestro, it's been a life-changing experience." That gives both of us a very warm feeling, because one likes to think that one is in a position to pass on what one has learned about life to people who are younger and who will carry the torch of an art form high in the air with enthusiasm and conviction. In the years to come, there will be literally thousands of Castleton Festival alumni who will have spread their wings and gone out to the world, and hopefully through their art to make the world a better place to live in.
Chantel, what was it that originally attracted you to the course?
Well, the legacy of Lauren Mizell is just so, I mean, there aren't really words for that. It's just so formative in my experience of recordings that I liked, and et cetera. But then the opportunity to be here in New York, because I'm in the metropolitan area, and to work with such incredible artists, and to perfect things that you don't often get an opportunity to perfect, and specifically in repertoire that I feel an affinity for.
So were there particular aspects, now that you look back on the course, that you feel you've benefited from?
Oh, the diction and, the diction, I can't even begin to say how much I valued that. But also working with Dietlinde and specifically about text painting, because oft I feel like we translate and then you kind of are left in this nebulous sort of floaty thing. And I guess that's when you see this, singers with their eyes kind of like drifting in these weird gestures, because you're not really having a conversation, and it doesn't seem genuine. But sort of the freedom to explore the intricacies of the language and the beauty of just the consonants and the sounds that are inherent to it. Also vocally speaking, getting a handle on the thrust. I mean, learning to sing with thrust, as opposed to muscling out huge sound. I mean, that was just fab.
Ritten wir ängstlich so her. Voll als mutige Helden mit Wohlvater. Einsam zu Ross oder ruhig noch Rast, durchstreift ihr als Wanderer die Welt. Jüngst kehrte heim. In der Hall hielt seine Speere Splitter.
I first found the course because I've been studying with Elizabeth and Michael, and they have completely changed my musical life. because I really was struggling vocally. I really was limited, or I thought I was limited in what repertoire I could do. I couldn't figure out where I might fit. And they showed me that I could do more than I ever dreamed. And one thing that was more than I ever dreamed was singing Wagner. I never thought in a million years I would. And I'm learning the role of Fricka for a production of Das Rheingold. And Elizabeth and Michael said, we are doing a class, why don't you audition, because it would be an intensive introduction. So that's what attracted me, the introduction to first dip my toe into this really powerful repertoire. If my previous repertoire was like, riding a bicycle down the road, this was like riding a wild Harley motorcycle off-roading, and you're having to learn how to stay on and navigate this whole new repertoire. And I found it's viscerally exciting, it's emotional, it's got everything.
Doch jetzt kann ich neue Namen gefühlen. Als diese teuflische Walde durchschreitest, jetzt da du niedrigst so schwach geschleitest, gemeiner Menschen ein Paar zu erzeugen, jetzt den Wurf in die Welt, wirst du zu fressen, mein
I have to say that it was Elizabeth, that I am familiar with her work, and when I saw that she was involved with something, that I would have an opportunity to work with her, I was like, I gotta do that. I have to try to do that, because she knows exactly the repertoire that I'm coming into. She sings it in uniquely a way that I admire, and I really wanted to work with her. And once I came to the program, it was such a wealth of rich experiences that I was able to have with not only her, but also with Michael and Dietlinde and Eric and my colleagues. One highlight was our masterclass with Mary Lou Falcone and her encouragement to everyone to communicate. That her entire ethos was just take a chance. Like, literally, what do you have to lose in this room? It's a safe space. If I give you an idea, why not take it all the way, or try something that might be too much or too little, or you might decide I'm never going to do that again. So I saw that as the night that we all opened up. And somehow she helped to put that energy in the room of, this is a safe space, and let's all just try. Just try it.
Thanks to Dietlinde, I worked a lot on how to have a better understanding of the character and be the character on stage. And also what we were discussing about with Elizabeth is like when you're on stage and you interpret the character and you become really the character, then after you're sort of vulnerable in a certain way, but because you're giving everything of yourself. But at the same time, you're alone, you don't see anyone, you're just like by yourself interpreting someone.
We were wondering, what was it that first attracted you to this particular course?
Well, Eric Malson, the accompanist, recommended it to me, and Eric's word is gold. I don't know whether it happened naturally or whether it was happy coincidence or whether the instructors did it on purpose, but they fostered such an atmosphere of collegiality among the students that it was really a pleasure to work with everybody. The atmosphere was so supportive, and my sessions with Dietlinde were incredibly helpful.
I think the aspect that I was most intrigued by was the intensity of how many lessons and sessions and classes were going to happen in one time frame. I live in the city, so it was kind of really nice to just take the subway down and just focus on singing for a couple days. I think the highlights were the expertise of Linda, Elizabeth, and Michael, and really them offering a safe space for us to really challenge ourselves and learn something new and really be inspired to grow.
Is there anything that you would like to see changed if you were creating this course yourself?
I think it could be a little longer.
I'd love for it to be longer.
I just wish it was longer.
I think everything was maybe a little longer. It was so exciting, you know, feeling like you really picked up steam around day 3 or 4, and you're like, man, I wish we could just keep going every day.
I would even wish to make it longer. So